Because of why I search the deep through endless nights, no time to sleep. The call inside I can't deny. I'll find the light because of why.
Hey everyone, so when I say Macau, what pops into your head? I'm guessing glittering casinos, right? Mountains of chips, high-stakes games, and yeah, you're not wrong. But is that all there is to it? Today, we're gonna dig a little deeper. We're peeling back the neon glow to find out why this place is such a huge deal for tourists. And trust me, it's way more than just a lucky hand. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, that gambling reputation, it is 100% earned. Just look at this number, $45 billion. That was Macau's peak gaming revenue in a single year back in 2013. To give you some perspective, at its peak, it was pulling in something like 7 times the cash of the entire Las Vegas Strip. It wasn't just a competitor. For a while there, Macau was the game.
And that's really the key difference, you know? Think about it. Vegas sells you the whole package, right? The incredible shows, the fancy restaurants, stuff for the whole family. But Macau? For the longest time, its focus was just laser sharp. It was all about pure, unadulterated, high-stakes gambling. It was a city built for the serious players, the high rollers, especially for baccarat lovers. So, that leads us to the big question, doesn't it? Is Macau just a bigger, flashier, more intense version of Vegas? I mean, if we ended the story right here, you'd probably say yes. But that, my friends, is barely scratching the surface of what makes this city tick.
Let's talk about that title, the world's gambling capital. It's the label, the myth, that has really defined the city for so long.
And look, this isn't just some outside stereotype. It's the real experience for a lot of people. I saw this comment on Reddit that just nails it. The vibe is, you go to Macau to gamble, period. The fancy stores, the spas, the nice hotel rooms, that's all just stuff you do in between hands. But what if I told you that the real story of this city started hundreds of years before anyone even thought of putting a chip on a table?
Because beyond all that neon, there's this incredible 400-year-old secret. It's a story of where East truly met West.
Okay, take a look at this. This is probably the most famous thing in Macau that isn't a casino. It's the ruins of St. Paul's. And this incredible stone front is literally all that's left of a church from the 1600s. It's the heart of a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and when you're there, you're looking at this amazing piece of evidence that East and West didn't just bump into each other here, they fused together.
And the history here goes deep. Just check out this timeline. The Portuguese showed up way back in 1557. I mean, think about that. They set up shop and shaped the culture for more than 400 years. This wasn't just some quick visit, it's the bedrock of what Macau is today. Then you have the handover to China in '99 and that UNESCO recognition. It all just sealed the deal on this unique dual identity.
But you know, history is always complicated. You can see the Portuguese buildings everywhere, but this comment from someone on the ground adds a really important layer. Their take is that, yeah, the Portuguese influence is there, but maybe it's a bit exaggerated. At its core, Macau is a Chinese city. The culture is heavily Cantonese. So it's less of a Portuguese city in Asia and more of a Chinese city with a very interesting Portuguese chapter in its history book.
And you know where else you find that history? On the plate. We're talking about what some people call the world's very first fusion food.
So what exactly is Macanese cuisine? Well, the most important thing to get is that it's not just Portuguese food next to Chinese food. No, it's a total blend. It's like a history lesson you can eat. Just picture it. Portuguese ships sailing the world, picking up spices and ingredients from Africa, India, all over Southeast Asia, and then bringing them to Macau, where local Cantonese chefs started playing with them, using their own techniques. The result? Something totally new and unique. It's so special, even UNESCO recognizes it.
And these dishes really tell that whole story. You've got African chicken, which, spoiler alert, isn't actually from Africa. The name is a nod to the spices that came from there. Then there's minchi, this super comforting, homey dish of minced meat. And of course, the Portuguese egg tart. It's famous all over the world now, but it was perfected right here in Macau. You gotta try one.
So, all this history, all this culture, does it mean Macau is more than just casinos today? Well, that's the big debate, and it's happening right now.
And if you want to know where the city's head is at, just look at where the money's going. This chart breaks down the new buildings along the light rail line. And wow, almost half, 47%, is hotels and resorts. Then you add another 15% for tourist attractions, and yeah, it's pretty obvious who all this new development is for. It's built for visitors. Which really gets to the two competing stories about Macau today. You've got one camp that says, look, it's still all about gambling. If you're not here for the casinos, you're going to get bored fast. But then there's the other side, pointing to all the new stuff and saying, no, wait, they're really trying to be more than that. They're adding things for families, for business events.
And they're not just small things either. I mean, you can go see giant pandas, there's a cool science center, you can go hiking on this beautiful green island called Kilauea, and they've even got a huge water park. The city is definitely trying to give you reasons to come that have absolutely nothing to do with a deck of cards.
So what's Macau's next big bet? Well, this whole shift isn't random. It's actually part of a very deliberate plan for the future, something they call the 1+4 strategy.
So here it is, the government's official 1+4 plan. The 1 is pretty simple. They want to be a world-class center for tourism and leisure, not just gambling. But it's the 4 where things get really interesting. That's a huge push into 4 new areas: health industries, financial services, new technology, and big events like conventions and sports. This is basically their master plan to reinvent the city.
And if you're wondering why they're doing this, why it's so important, well, this one stat says it all. In 2019, before everything changed, the airport was operating at 123% capacity. Let that sink in. They were literally bursting at the seams. When you have that kind of pressure, plus the risk of relying on just one industry, well, changing isn't just a good idea, it's a must.
Which leaves us with the million-dollar question, or maybe the $45 billion question. Macau has the plan, it has the history, it definitely has the money, but can it actually pull it off? Can it really transform itself from a city of games into this global hub for culture and leisure? The answer to that is going to write the next chapter of its story.
So, what do you think? Can Macau really change, or will gambling always be its true identity? Drop a comment below and let us know what you think is next for the city. And hey, if you liked digging into the story of Macau with us, do us a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. It seriously helps us out a ton.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We'll catch you in the next one.